When life gets real, the mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's tight. The lens already and the jokes online. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live and learn a lot. Turn it up, this show is hot. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's time for my plan to start the show.
Good week. We got some stuff going on. The month of April's looking pretty good. What do you think?
I think so too. I think so. April's gonna be a good month this year, hopefully.
April's gonna be a good month. Well, and let me tell you what we're gonna be doing, guys. Like I told you, we're gonna be not remodeling, but redoing the studio. It's gonna be a different look when you see us again in a couple weeks. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. You know, lots of work ahead of us, right, Connor?
Yep. Lots of work.
And what's going on with the show, and at the show, the city? Anything going on around the town?
Not that I know of.
Nothing. Any current events you want to talk about?
No.
March Madness?
I don't really. Well, I mean, I guess March Madness. Look, he kicked me in the butt.
No. Do you know who lost yesterday?
No, I didn't check.
Go to the bracket, the Sweet 16.
My phone's over there.
You can. It's a computer. You have it on your computer.
I didn't know.
Just type in the Sweet 16, and you'll see the bracket. University of Houston lost, right? And I actually have to. That was going all the way to my final championship game, so I'm out. I'm completely out. I thought I had a good chance. I was at 2.1 million rank. Thought I had a good chance with that, you know. And yeah, right now ain't happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of the top seeds that I expected fell. So, like, for example, go down to the Sweet 16. Go start with Duke 1. Who's the next game?
Michigan. Well,
Michigan State.
UConn won against Michigan State.
Yeah, but what rank was UConn?
2.
2, and they beat the 3. I thought Michigan State would beat them, so that's one reason I'm out.
Me too.
What's the next one?
Illinois, Houston.
Illinois, Houston. And Houston lost. Next one?
Iowa and Nebraska.
Nebraska won. Iowa
won.
Iowa won and Nebraska lost. Okay, then I'm good with that one.
Arizona and Arkansas.
Oh yeah, I had Arizona going to the championship.
So
I'm good there. Okay.
Purdue and Texas.
I bet Purdue.
Tennessee and Iowa State.
And I bet Iowa State on that one.
Tennessee.
What rank was Tennessee?
6.
Yeah, and they beat the
2.
Purdue Boilermakers. So
what? No, they didn't.
I'm sorry. What are the two teams? Iowa State. Sorry, Iowa State. Yeah, I had Iowa State
and Michigan and Alabama.
And Michigan lost. Michigan won. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my 2 top seeds, you know, I still have Arizona. But yeah, Houston I thought would take it and go into the championship. I thought Arizona would win. So I might still get those points, but if y'all are playing your bracket and you're busted, you are not alone. I can promise you that. You're not alone. You know, there's no perfect brackets after the second day. You know, it was like 10,000 after the first day. You know, by the second day, I think there was only like 2,000. And as far as I know, I don't think there's any perfect brackets right now.
I don't think so. It might have been like 1 for the 32, but I think they lost.
Okay.
Sweet 16.
Well, yeah. So yeah, it's not the best, you know. And then here in El Paso, you know how much I love AI, right? You know, Meta's trying to put a plant here, right?
Oh God.
and the city's fighting it big time, and they were going to put in like $5 billion. Now they've doubled it. They doubled down. They're going to go 10 billion. You know, they're trying to say it's going to help the city and everything, but I don't know. El Paso is fighting it because of the water usage. We don't have the water here to support 1 million gallons a day in the data center. That's pretty crazy.
Crazy.
Well, that's about all that's going on right now. I mean, there's so many things going on. Hopefully things get better and whatnot, in the world, but you get ready to discuss the show?
Yes.
All right, so before we get started with the show, I want to tell you all, I am the Murph Man, and Connor is my co-host. We are the host of the Hot Takes with the Murph Man, and we just talk about whatever comes to our mind. We have a class today we're going to talk, or a class system we're going to talk about. We talk about college and whatnot. But today we're going to talk about resilience. And resilience is one of those things that gets to the heart of a lot of issues that people have. So we're going to talk a little more personal today. So, we're not experts. We're just talking about from our personal life, what we do and what we have going on and whatnot. So take it with a grain of salt. Some adult language might come out of our mouths, might not. We never know. But we're just being genuine. So if you guys are interested, just ignite the fuse.
Bend, don't break in the college storm. Today, in episode 33, Resilience and Adaptability, we are talking about the learnable skills for navigating challenges. College will test you, and that's not a bad thing. This episode explores how to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and build the inner strength to keep going when things get tough. The fuse is lit. Murph Man, take the mic.
The overall theme for today, you guys, is bend and don't break in the college storm. It's going to test you. Can you agree with me on that, Connor?
Yeah.
You're finishing your first year of college, and it's been tougher than you thought it would be. We know that. But was it a lot tougher or not as tough as you thought? Is it kicking your ass is what I'm getting.
It's what I expected, honestly.
Okay. So that's one of those things that as we talk about all of this, right? Think about that. Think about the fact that the way you went into college before your first year to where you are now. Do you think you're more resilient or more resilient? Do you know what I mean by that?
No.
I'll tell you what. So then let's get to the burning question. Let's ask it.
Do you know the difference between bouncing back and moving toward? Today's burning question is, what is the main difference between resilience and adaptability? A. They are the same thing. B. Resilience is about bouncing back. Adaptability is about adjusting to new conditions. C. Resilience is a natural trait. Adaptability is a learned skill. D. Resilience is about enduring stress. Adaptability is about avoiding it. The choices are on the table. Murph Man, what's the flashpoint?
All right, so let's talk about the ones that are not answers first. Let's go backwards in order. We have D. Resilience is enduring stress. Adaptability is avoiding. Resiliency is, what do you think about a rubber band? It bounces back, right? That's the resort. And that's what we're talking about today. It's not avoiding, because avoiding doesn't teach you anything, doesn't do anything for you. Okay, you cannot avoid a problem. Have you ever stubbed your toe on anything?
Yeah. A lot.
As you walk around that same furniture or same wall or same whatever, your body remembers what is there, and it moves your foot without you even thinking about it. Okay.
Sometimes.
Or you might move your hand just instinctively. Your body remembers what your brain doesn't. But at one point, it forgets, and you stub your toe again. right? That's going to happen. You're going to stub your toe. But how does your body bounce back from that? And it literally protects yourself. And now with resiliency is you can't avoid that corner forever. You're going to eventually hit it. So avoiding it's not the answer, right? C is resilience is a trait. Adaptability is a skill. A trait is when we're a part of our personality of who we are. And adaptability just becomes something we learn to do. Okay. And of course, they're not the same term. But the answer to the flashpoint is B. Resilience is about bouncing back, and adaptability is about adjusting. Adapt, adjust, right? You can adjust to different situations as you get more experience with them. And you change some things here and there. Like, I know the way you went into college, you're not the same person right now that you went into college.
Nope.
Okay. You've learned how to do different things, right?
Yeah. I would say so.
Okay. But when you think about your personality, do you think you're resilient? Are you able to bounce back from bad situations?
Sometimes, but not really.
If you think about everything you've done and everything you've been through, you don't think you've learned anything from that?
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how to word it.
You haven't learned as much as you would like.
Yeah.
It's not about learning. It's about your personality, Connor. Okay. You've had some setbacks in your life. The biggest one is having me as a dad.
Okay.
When I was younger, I really should have listened to my dad. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
He tried to give me advice.
But
I don't know. I told you I never listened to him. You were supposed to say, what did he try to tell? I don't know. You didn't fall for it. Anyway, boom, boom. The resilience part of you, Connor, is we've been through some stuff. I say we. Okay. We've been low after your mom passed away. And now I think we're doing a lot better. I mean, beyond what we could have expected from anything. What do you think of that?
yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
With this podcast, with the studio, with the consulting firm that is on hold right now because of everything going on. But there are so many possibilities for our future, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have bounced back. I know I'm resilient. I've been through so much. I can bounce back from stuff. You don't see it in yourself, but you are resilient. You have bounced back from some things.
That's what I'm saying, something, but not like
Well,
really.
no one's 100%. But, okay, your medical issues we talked about. You went through that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting the care you need now.
Yeah.
To do the things you need to do. But you're not too stressed about it because you know my history, my medical issues. I've been through a lot of this stuff. And it's nothing to really worry about now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because of what we've been through, made you be able to handle this a little easier than you probably would have otherwise. Because a person at your age 19 having a heart attack is unheard of. Now, you didn't have a heart attack. I want to make that clear. Right? But you thought you were having a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get fixed up. And you're going to be doing good. And it's going to get better. But you're not going to let it ruin you. You're not going to let it control you. You're going to get better and pass through it. Some people, like, for example, when I got cancer, how stressed was I?
Not stressed at all.
Not stressed at all. Why?
Because it was early and it wasn't it wasn't like life threatening.
Right. It wasn't the kind of cancer that was life threatening. When I told me what kind of cancer it was, I researched it, saw what it was. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll get that fixed pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been bad? Yeah. But I knew I caught it early. So I wasn't too stressed. But, you tell yourself, your wife died of cancer. Didn't that freak you out? Not really, because I researched the cancer. I've been through so much. It's like, okay, just cancer is just part of my life. That's resiliency. You don't let things set you back so much. So and it's doing pretty good, right? Have you looked at the wound? Have you seen it? Because I mean, I haven't. I don't look at myself too much.
I mean, it looks like you had nothing.
Yeah, right.
So
The surgeon did a pretty good job.
yeah, you look brand new.
Brand new, right? I need to get that facelift. Get rid of my double chin. Right, my eyelids, the droopy eyelid. I got. I need to do some cosmetic surgery. Connor, what do you think? Should I do it?
If you want, I'll support it, but
I got to pay for it. I ain't gonna do anything. I got to pay for it. But bouncing back is just part of life, and that's what we hope to teach everyone today. So I want you to think about this as we talk about it. And of course, the best way to talk about this is through our story from the fire.
Resilience isn't built in reflection. It's built by taking hits. Today's hot take is this: resilience isn't built in quiet reflection. It's a skill you can only develop by taking a hit. The bold claim is out there. Murph Man, add some fuel.
All right. So I said, story from the fire. I'm sorry. Today's hot take. Resilience isn't built in reflection. It's built by taking hits. You bounce back from situations, okay? You bounce back. That's the whole point. You must recognize that an F is just data that your strategy isn't working. Okay? In other words, if you're not doing good in school, change what you're doing. If you keep doing the same thing and you expect change, that's called insanity. Okay? You're going to have to change something. Success isn't spelled BA or BS.
it's BA
Bachelor's of Arts.
and BS.
Bullshit.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I have a BS in psychology. Excuse me. BS in psychology is Bachelor's of Science. But it's spelled alignment. Okay? ALIGNMENT. Okay? Stop avoiding that hard stuff that if you want to grow into the potential, the bold claims out there. Okay? You got to go out there and you got to do it. You can't ignore it. You can't resist it. You got to figure it out. Okay? That's probably the most important thing we got to do. But you build resilience by taking hits. You can't be resilient if nothing's ever happened to you. And I'll give you an example of two of my clients I used to work with. Okay, I had, and these are two situations. I'm not making fun of them in any way, shape, or form, but just to show you how resilience actually works in a person's brain. Okay, I had two clients, two little girls. One had a father who would sexually abuse her repeatedly over years. And one girl, her father touched her breast. Who do you think handled the situation better?
I don't know. I don't know how they took it.
Well, think about it. Just hearing those two stories.
I think the one with the breast, maybe. No,
The one with the breast took it better? Because
I don't know.
you really don't know.
I'm just assuming.
The girl who, with that situation, was not, she had never had anything bad happen to her in her life. And that one incident really, really, really affected her. The girl who had been abused repeatedly had a very good attitude about it. And she was able to succeed in life. This one had a very hard time because she had never had anything bad happen to her. She had no resilience. This girl had a lot of resilience because of all the bad things that had happened to her. So as you go through life, you might see these hits, right? Something negative. But if you learn from them and you adapt to them and you change, you're able to succeed because you overcome them.
Okay.
I can tell you when I was going for my schooling, I started off at UTEP. I didn't do good. I told you I started partying and everything. Then I took a break for a couple of years. I went back to college and I graduated with master's degree. I mean, like, I'm 15 hours into a PhD. You just never know where you're going to come back to, right?
Yeah.
And you got to think about that when you look at your life. The more hits you take, the more resilient you're going to be if you can overcome them. If you get that one thing happen to you and you get stuck there, you're never going to learn to be resilient. That's the bottom line. You know what? Once you think about that, we're going to go to break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the laying down the code segment where we talk about the terms we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so we'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
According to the VA's suicide data report, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. This figure is a sobering reality and a crisis that demands our immediate attention and compassion. We must recognize and address the fact that every 24 hours, 22 veterans are losing their lives to suicide. The war doesn't always end when our veterans come home. The invisible wounds they carry, wounds that are real and heavy, require continuous support. No veteran should have to carry this burden alone. Many veterans experience stress and disconnection as they navigate life after service. But there is hope, there is help, and you are not alone in this fight. There's a vibrant community ready to support you, offering friendship, understanding, and shared experiences. You served your country, now let us serve you. Don't fight the toughest battle in silence. Your mission now is to reach out. Dial 988, then press 1. Text them at 838255. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Every day, we save lives. Your life is invaluable, and your service is honored. Let's work together to make 22-0 again. No veteran should face their struggles alone. Together, we can ensure every veteran finds the support and hope they deserve.
He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog batting said, "This is a man's best friend." Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
Before we get back to the show, I'd like to pause for something that matters. I was inspired by Ryan Spencer's song, Make 22-0 Again. I'd like to remind you that help is always available 24/7, 365. If you ever feel you need support or are in crisis, call 988 and press 1 or text 838255. There will always be someone ready to listen. Remember, you are not alone.
All right, we are back. Thank you for watching. For those of you who are watching on TikTok, you can go to our Pure Hot Takes at social media at YouTube, and you can actually watch the videos we have in between our breaks here. So if you want to see all of that, go to YouTube. You can check us out there. And you can see us on Twitch as well, I believe. Yes, on Twitch we're there as well. So, all right. For resiliency, what does that entail? Let's talk about some terms we're going to discuss in a little bit, okay? So here's laying down the codes.
The groundwork for unshakable grit. Before we dig in, Let's clarify some of the key terms we'll be using today while laying down the coals. Resilience, the ability to recover from setbacks and keep moving forward. It's a learnable skill, not an innate trait. Adaptability, the capacity to adjust to new conditions and challenges. In a rapidly changing world, this is a superpower. Growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning, which is the foundation of resilience. Now that the coals are laid, Murph Man, let's discuss the foundation.
All right. So resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks and keep moving forward. And it's a learnable skill. Adaptability is the capacity to adjust to new conditions and challenges in a changing world. The growth mindset is belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort. And activation energy, the amount of mental energy required to start a task and overcome delay. Okay. Now, why is that important? Well, I'm sure you've seen the video, Connor, of this Marine whose barracks were trashed. Have you seen that video?
Yeah. I saw that one.
What's just since you've seen it, we'll talk about it right now as a example. But what do you think of that video?
It's crazy. I don't know why people did that at all. Why?
That's part of the army. That's part of the military growing up in it, dude.
Well, I didn't know.
No, that's what I'm going to tell you. This Marine is bitching that they trashed his room. But I want you to picture what we call a bay, which is a longer room that has bunk beds with the wall lockers in between, like back to back. So you have bunk bed, wall locker, then wall locker, then bunk bed, And imagine 20 beds, 40 people in one room. And every morning you have to do the shower, you have to clean the room, you have to make your bed, you have to fold it a certain way, you have to have it tight, you have to have your laundry bag folded a certain way, you have to have your closet folded a certain way. There's just so much, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the drill sergeants go in, and if your bed is not made, they just grab your blanket and pull your bed off the floor and just throw it on the floor. And they do this to 25, 30 people that just didn't do a damn thing to take care of themselves. So when I saw that video, I'm like, memories. And you're walking around going, yo, I'm missing a blanket. Who's got the extra blanket? Because they trashed the whole, 40 people in this huge room. He's complaining about his little room, When they have locker inspections or wall locker, you open them up and they walk through, and you're supposed to have everything folded a certain way. You have to have it all organized. Everything has to be the same for everybody. You'll have the same amount of uniforms, same amount of shirts, because you're all given that at the beginning. And you all have everything basic training. And it just, it's just part of growing up, bro. Like, that's just something you do. Go in there and just trash the room. And, he was complaining about it's gone viral, but that's part of the military. I'm telling you, we've all had that happen to us,
Yeah. Did anybody say like anything in the comments? Being
I
like,
didn't bother. I was like, this is stupid. I just scrolled past it.
oh,
I already knew what the video was about, and I knew they're going to be complaining. I knew it was going to be in the comments, and I was like, I already know. I've already been there. But let me just do a side quest here, okay? When I was in the Army, I was in basic training, and I went to my annual training, my advanced training to be trained for my skill for the Army. And the day I got there, I walked in, and the drill sergeant was there with his wife, and the wife is asking everybody, where are you from? Where are you from? And this lady asked me, hey, where are you from? I said, El Paso. She's like, oh my God, I'm from El Paso. I said, oh, really? What school did you go to? And she goes, El Paso High, but you got to remember, I'm younger here. I'm 18 years old. And she's, a couple years older than me, maybe 5 or 6 years older. And we're talking. And she says, where are you from, El Paso? What school? She tells me what year she graduated high school. I said, oh, do you know Terry? Yeah, it's this girl that I'm dating. And she goes, oh my God, are you Sean?
What?
The drill sergeant's wife is best friends with my girlfriend. Okay. I didn't know this, that we're going to be stationed in the same damn unit. He thought I was a regular soldier coming in and being transferred in to be a regular, not one of his students, so to speak, right? So the guy's like, you're the one dating Terry? I guess, he's like, okay. So anyway, this drill sergeant and I got along really good. He played a prank on me at the end of the thing, whatever. But one day I came home really, really hungover. I should say I'm really drunk. And at 7 a.m, he comes into the room. And one of the things you don't want to do in the military is stay asleep when the drill sergeant walks in. So he walks into the building and you're supposed to yell, drill sergeant on the floor, and everyone's supposed to stand up and meditate, whatever, right?
Yeah.
He tells the guy at the front door to be quiet. He walks over to my bed, knowing I'm drunk, right? This is at 6 a.m. when he's getting off duty. He taps on me and he goes, Murphy, wake up. And I was like, and I see the drill sergeant. And I freaked out, Connor. Oh my God. I was on the top bunk and I jumped off of it and he caught me. And he covers my mouth like he's kidnapping me. And he goes, quiet. He goes, get ready. We're going for a run. Wait, what? Yeah, we're going to go get a run. This drill sergeant made me run, probably still drunk, 3.5 to 4 miles away. We went off base to some Hispanic part of town. He took me to go eat menudo. He knew I was going to be hungover. Now here's the best part. You know how much menudo I eat, right? I love menudo. We're there. His wife pulls up, picks him up, and he leaves me there, right? He paid the bill and everything. But he left me 3.5, 4 miles away from base, hungover, full of menudo, and tired as hell. I had to walk back all hungover.
God. At least you know how to get back, though.
Well, yeah, right.
Fuck.
So when you think about resiliency, right? I didn't let that bother me so much. I thought that was funny to me. But when we were graduating, I went to another drill sergeant. I said, we're going to mess with drill sergeant. We're going to move his car. He had a little cabriolet, like a little smart car. We picked it up and we moved it to a different parking lot. Imagine like from the front parking lot to the side parking lot, right? So when he came out, his car was gone. I said, don't let him call the MPs, whatever. And everyone was like, you're not going to do this. They could have told me don't do it, but they already knew we weren't friends, but they already knew we'd mess with each other throughout the whole season. We moved his car and he smoked us, meaning push-ups, drop and give us 100 million, Yeah, it was but it was so worth it, dude. I was laughing so hard, right? At my graduation, they gave us a certificate. I was the guy on bearer, the guy with the flag, and a certificate of appreciation. My first award in the Army, right? My first name can also be a female's first name, which I really hate. But on my certificate, it said, for her outstanding excellence, she exhibited blah, blah. It was all female. And the commander, again, he knew about the drill sergeant and me, right? The commander is reading this, and he just looks at me and goes, this award will be given out at a later date. There's no later date. The bus is waiting for me. I still have that award. It was part of my official military jacket. Who got the last laugh? The drill sergeant, right? But I'll tell you what, man, that was just that whole time with him. He taught me, drill sergeants are human, but they'll do stuff to mess with you. That's their whole purpose in life. And they will trash your room like that. They will make your life miserable. And for them, it's a game. They wake up in the morning, literally, how can they mess with you? That's what they're trained to do. Nowadays, I think, I don't know how things are. When I was in my day, the drill sergeants would actually fight you if they thought you had an attitude. They'd throw down with you, you know. And I remember I had this one little drill sergeant, Diaz, and he would talk to me and he'd hit his, the drill sergeant round. He'd hit it into my lip because he was that short, and he would talk to me and he'd hit me with it. And I said, drill sergeant, please stop. And he, what? You don't like this? Drill sergeant, please stop. What are you going to do, Murphy? You going to hit me? Achoo! And I'm, I can't move, right? I sneeze in this face. Get down and give me 100 push-ups, right? And I'm laughing. I'm like, dude, I told you, don't do it. I had a very different attitude with drill sergeants and everything because I was in the reserves for 7 months before I actually went to school. I already met people that were higher ranking than me. I was already working with people and everything. So the drill sergeants didn't scare me. They were just soldiers to me. But I had a great time in basic training in the IT. When I went back the second time, I enjoyed it even more when I went back to get trained as a counselor. So I share this with you just so you can say the military is stupid for doing some of this stuff, but it makes you who you are as a soldier. And this guy's complaining, I can't believe it. He's a Marine, dude. He is going to get so much shit from his partners, his teammates, his squad members, platoon, everybody. I would hate to be that soldier right now. I can tell you right now. Okay. He's not enjoying life. Okay. He's not. And all I can do is that make me smile when I think about what that guy's going through.
That's funny.
It is. But how about this? Let's talk about another story from the fire. So we can talk about another example here.
The moment a failed scholarship became a final win. After losing a scholarship due to low grades, Malik felt defeated. But instead of giving up, he met with an advisor, built a new study plan, and worked his way back. He didn't just recover, he came back stronger, more focused, and more resilient. That was a story from the fire. Murph Man, are you feeling the heat?
Malik failed a class. Then he went and talked to his advisors what he could do to overcome that failure, right? And he's eventually succeeded. Almost everyone I know has an F on their transcript somewhere. But you also have to get those good grades in the other classes. When you start college, they tell you take your basics first because they're easier. Your program is a very difficult program at UTEP, okay, because of the whole engineering program you're taking. You still have to take your English, but your maths are higher level. Your history is the same as everyone else that they have to take. Your science is a higher level. So you don't just take basic stuff to be doing what you do. Now you could have, if you wanted to, go and take algebra and go take pre-cal and go take all these other courses before going into your course program, right?
Well, I mean, that's what I did. Pre-cal.
What I'm saying is
courses.
Before pre-cal, take something else and, a few other things. Instead of going to English, taking, I don't know, whatever course you could have taken. But the point being is you don't have to start at that level that the program makes you start at. Okay, but then again, financially, it only pays for so many years. You can't go too long. All right. So if you get an F, right, because a lot of scholarships require you to have a C average or better. If you have an F, you have to get an A when you retake the course to even out of the C. Okay. Some colleges, and UTEP is one of them, that overrides the grade, which is awesome. It's sort of like erases the F. So it doesn't get counted into your GPA. But it does show on your transcript. And it'll show you took it once or twice. or 3 times. When you look at a college transcript as an employer, I don't know why they want transcripts. If you have a degree, they're gonna be like, oh well, let's see how good he was at his classes. Straight A's, he's got to be a good engineer. That doesn't matter. Okay, for a job. If I had to go to interview somebody and they had straight C's and every class they got a C, that means they do the bare minimum. They need to do better. Do I want to hire that person as an employee? Now, if I have someone that has a bunch of A's and a bunch of B's, 1 or 2 C's, and then 1 F or 2 F's, oh, he's human. You know, if I have someone that has straight A's, do I want to work with that person?
Yes, but no.
Right?
Yeah.
See, having straight A's is not always going to be the best. You know, it can be a drawback because, you know, you've never had a setback in life. So you want someone who has life experience, you want someone who's resilient, okay? So Malik is able to overcome his situation and eventually pass his classes. So he can do the different things, right?
Yeah.
When you have the friends you have, right? There's a TikTok with this guy, and he's on a college campus, and a student goes, "What advice would you give me?" He goes, "I'm going to give you the advice that I wish someone would have given me. Use college as a networking thing. Make friends. You want to be able to, if someone tells you, like say you're building a building and someone goes, that's not possible. You want to be able to call your friend up who's an engineer and go, hey, I'm trying to do this, but they see the building code is not letting me do it. And then your engineer friend can go, oh, here's the workaround that. Or, you know, you're trying to do something legal and the lawyer's like, I'm sorry, you know, you can't do that. It's not legal. Let me call my friend who's a lawyer. You know what I mean? So by networking and meeting people in college, you're going to make those friends that you're going to use later in life. And I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You don't have to be with the straight A students. Okay, like I told you before, what kind of grades did your doctor get? What kind of grades did your lawyer get? No one ever talks about that. Because all that matters is they're a doctor or they're a lawyer.
Yeah, they got the certification, they got the job, so it's like that's all you really need.
Yeah. Okay. As a teacher, I've met people who are teachers that are amazing, like amazing teachers. And I've met some that are not so much amazing, right? Amazing teachers are more than often than not better teachers. Okay. But sometimes the ones that you don't think are great teachers, they teach kids more than just their subject. They teach about life. In high school, there was a teacher, psychology teacher, Mr. Estrada, who he would call his little grasshoppers, you know. But he would also teach history. He tried teaching history with life lessons and everything. It was really cool until he killed himself.
Oh.
And you're like, wait a minute, was that the one? No, that's not the one who killed himself. His other teacher killed himself. And when he killed himself, Estrada was like really telling people, you know, like, hey, we never know what people are going through. And he just turned off the class for a day and just talked about this person who passed away. You know, so when this happens, right, people are more resilient than others based on their history and everything that they've gone through. So look at setbacks as something positive, and that will let you move forward. Okay. Well, how do we move forward? We have actionable steps. We have things we got to do, and we're going to do that in our heat map today.
Your step-by-step guide to reframing failure. The heat map will show you where to focus your efforts for the most impact. Reframe setbacks as learning opportunities. Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why did this happen to me? Practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself like you would a friend. Be kind to yourself when you make a mistake. Build a support system of people who lift you up. You don't have to go through every challenge alone. Embrace a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities are developed through effort. The map is fully drafted. Murph Man, keep us on track.
All right. So reframe setbacks as learning opportunities. I've told you this before. Okay. What can I learn from this? Okay. Can you think of anything that you've gone through that I can ask you that question, Connor, that where you can say, what did I learn from this situation?
When I failed my English class my junior year. Was it
Okay.
junior? Yeah, junior year.
What did you learn from that?
That I need to balance school and work because that was when I had a job and I wasn't paying attention that much in like any class. But it was just that one class I didn't really like care about because it was English. It was like all papers and all movies. I just like slept.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I learned to stay awake and not really put a whole like lot on myself, like with work and with school at the same time.
And now that you're in college, what have I told you? You're not going to work. I'll support you as much as I can. I'll let you do whatever you need to do. Just focus on school, right? Because we learned that lesson.
Yeah.
Can you still get a job if you wanted to? Yeah. Can you make money and do everything if you still wanted to? Yeah. But you're not doing that right now. Okay. We have a little side hustle that we do, that we get a little bit of money here and there. It sounds like we're doing drugs or something, but we're not,
I know,
right?
I'm like, I got a side gig, you know, I make some money from it.
One of my friends says, when I started the podcast back in August, right? All the things I've done with military broadcast radio, the animations and stuff with Stream 915, right? She says they're like side quests. And I thought about that, and I'm like, yes, that's a good way to put it.
This?
Yeah.
Well, man.
Not the podcast, everything else we're doing.
Oh. Well, not really.
My DJing, the Vibes in 915 podcast, all of that's side quests.
I mean, yeah, but you're doing that for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
So
But
it's
I mean,
just-
the side quest has reasons too.
Well, this is for the benefit of Stream 915 and to bring it out more.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just there just to do it. But it's because side quests are like, you just go do something real quick and that's it.
Well, yeah, but it helps with the overall. Like, for example, you can go and collect the diamonds you need to get the sword you need to get, it gets you to the end eventually. So side quests, it doesn't have to be minor. It can be big, but it's just something that, you do. And when you think about things that we do as a side quest, right? The side hustles and everything, we stay focused on what we got to finish. And I tell you, if you need some money to go out or something, I'll be happy to give it to you. Just let me know what you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where I hope you're able to ask for help eventually, because I know that's one thing you don't like to do. Okay. But I also know you've been through a lot and you've overcome a lot of stuff. So give yourself some credit there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Practice self-compassion by talking to yourself like you were a friend, means don't be too hard on yourself. You're going to mess up. Now, if you keep messing up, it's going to be bigger and bigger problems. And eventually you're going to have some consequences and it's going to be a little different, right?
Yeah.
When I was at UTEP and I failed and I went back the second semester and I failed again, I was pretty much banned from UTEP. There's a fresh start program after 10 years. They give you a chance to go back and stuff. So, I never went, but I asked about it. I could have by the time I started college again. There's a lot there, right? And then you also have the support system of people you have. If they're a good support system or a bad support system. Okay. You want to have those that will push you and make it better for you. Like we were talking yesterday at lunch when I said, I had a friend of mine who wanted to talk to some girls and stuff and whatnot. And before you know it, I became part of the it crowd, the popular crowd. I don't know how that happened, but I met people that got me straight, from the life I was living. They were better people than what I was, And of course, technology, we'll talk about that when we get to our digital inferno. But in that heat map, right? Sorry. The heat map is those steps you can take that will prevent you from getting burned. Okay. I mean, it will that you have to take, but sorry.
What?
The
What?
heat map will get you the steps you need. Now we need to talk about the pitfalls you're going to experience in your segment called Where You're Going to Get Burned. Oh, wait.
What?
Let's take a break first.
You want to?
Yeah, let's take a break first. We'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Staring out this hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I
Before we get back to the show, Hot Takes with the Murph Man streams live every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern with Military Broadcast Radio. At mbradio.us, we give veterans a voice and help them launch their own podcasts. Make sure to visit pureHotTakes.com for all my socials and links to our premium content.
All right. Welcome back. Okay. Hold on. What happened here?
What?
It kicked me out. All right. So we have the steps that we got to take, right? But there's some pitfalls that will happen, because we talked about resilience is bouncing back from situations, right? So we're going to have those pitfalls. Let's talk about those right now. In the segment, where do you get burned?
Why believing failure defines you is a dangerous trap. Believing failure defines you. It refines you, and your response is more important than the challenge. Resisting change. Flexibility is a superpower you must learn to embrace. Isolating when things get hard. You must reach out and reconnect with your support system. Ignoring early signs. Irritability and fatigue are early warning signs you should not ignore. The traps are visible. Murph Man, help us navigate the flames.
All right. So believing failure defines you as a dangerous trap. Again, we go back to having a positive attitude or negative attitude, right?
Yep.
Resilience is about having a positive attitude. Now, when your mom passed away, in a way, it was a relief for me because of all the stress I was under. Going to all the doctor appointments, having to go visit with her in the hospital, and still doing my job and still taking care of a 9-year-old kid. Right?
Yeah.
So in a way, it was a relief that she was gone. But that also brought a whole new set of problems to me. Does that make sense? So, I'm not sitting here saying your mom's death was a positive thing, right? But your outlook on life affects how you interpret a lot of stuff, right? If you're positive, sometimes stuff as bad as that aren't as effective, or they don't affect you as much based on your attitude. There's a story about a farmer trying to kill a mule. The mule was walking one day and it fell down into a hole. And the farmer's like, "Oh, can't pull him out. I'm gonna have to bury him." So, the farmer gets a shovel and starts shoveling dirt into the hole. The donkey, the dirt lands the donkey, and the donkey's like, shakes it off, right? And then the farmer puts another shovel of dirt and the donkey shakes it off. Was the day progressed, what ended up happening? Can you take a guess?
They filled up the hole.
They filled up the holes and the donkey was just able to walk out. So he kept shaking it off and it came out of the hole. Also, there's an adage of monkeys in the tree. When there's a bunch of monkeys in the trees, right? When a top monkey poops, it lands on the little ones, the lower ones, I mean. So you want to try to get up as high as you can on that tree and be the boss, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff's always going to roll downhill. And it's going to be negative, and you just got to accept it and move on. And that positive attitude is all part of it. And the last one that I have on that is, have you ever heard about the rabbit and the bear in the woods?
No.
The bear is taking a poop next to a rabbit. And he goes, "Hey, do you have problems with poop sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit goes, "No." That's good. And gets the rabbit and wipes himself.
Oh, ew. That's nasty. You're nasty for that.
Right? But, it's just how you look at life. Being positive or negative. It's just one of those things that you just never know. All right. Also, you want to resist change, or do you want to accept change? What do you think, Connor?
Accept change.
Accept
Because
change.
there's some stuff that you need to change in order to be better.
Yes. And flexibility is a superpower. I used to tell people I'm so flexible, I'm a contortionist because I just go with whatever happens for the most part. I can be stubborn and I can be real direct on what I need, but for the most part, I'm flexible. If you need me to do something, let me know. When things get hard and you isolate, getting away from everybody, you don't want to do that. You don't want to stay away because if you don't interact with people, you're going to be stuck, and you don't want that to happen. Okay. Again, I talked about this before. Getting rid of toxic people in our lives, right? If you let them back in your life, you got them out of your life for one reason. Why are you letting them back in? Right? Yesterday, we were talking to your friend. We had a long lunch and everything, right? She's very quiet. And I was trying to include her in the conversation as much as possible. Right? But she had a situation that happened where a drunk driver hit her car and took out her car, her mom's car, and her uncle's car. All three cars in one accident. Can you imagine? Okay, Connor, we have two cars. One car gets in an accident, at least we have the other one. They had three, and all three were totaled because of this idiot. She had to overcome that, right?
Yeah.
Was she upset?
Yeah.
Was she able to joke about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So you think about it and you're like, okay, yeah, that's even though things are bad, you can still joke about it. So it's one of those things where you can be positive or negative, isolate yourself and get away from everybody, or turn to your friends and talk to them. Right? And last but not least is ignoring the early signs, like irritability and fatigue are early warning signs you should not ignore. Okay, when you're irritable and you're grumpy and you're moody, something's going on. You need to think about what it is and why it's happening. And you're able to move forward. Okay, and I've told you one of my favorite books. What is it?
One of your favorite books?
Yeah. I quote it all the time.
One of your books? Your favorite books? Not a story, it's like the actual book itself.
Well, it's a story in a book.
Well, but like a video story.
There's videos too, yes.
A book?
When I say it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. Who Moved My Cheese?
That's a book?
Yeah, it's a book by Spencer Johnson.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just a video.
No. Let me tell you, it's a book that has the gathering where they talk about stuff. It's a lot more detailed than just the story itself or the discussion after the story. But the video, someone just made the video and they took the most important parts of the book and made a video.
Oh.
And you can do that, But yeah, hemming and haw, you got to change your situation. You got to do something about it. You can't just sit back and do nothing. Right?
Yeah.
So as we're talking about this and we talk about things where you can get burned, let's talk about the heat shields that will prevent us from getting burned and avoiding those pitfalls.
How to deploy the self-compassion buffer. Your resilience heat shield is the self-compassion buffer. When a setback hits, your first reaction is often self-criticism, which creates internal heat. Deploy this shield by actively choosing to treat yourself like a friend in need. This emotional buffer protects your motivation and gives you the energy needed to shift from blaming yourself to building a new plan. The armor is ready. Murph Man, lead us forward.
All right, so let's talk about some of these heat shields. Self-compassion to buffer and protect your motivation. Understand you're going to fail. Nothing's perfect. I really tried getting straight A's in school when I went to college the second time. I never cared about college before that or school before that. And my teacher told me that advice. You never know what kind of grade your doctors and lawyers get. So just pass the class and move on, get the credit certification and whatever you need, right?
Yeah.
So when I got that seat, I had a lot going on in my life and I didn't have time to dedicate it to the class that I needed to. But they gave me that advice and it was really good, When a setback hits, deploy treating yourself like a friend in need. Imagine, what would you tell a friend if they went through some of the stuff that you've been through?
That it's okay. Trust. It'll be good. You'll come back from it. It's
Right.
not that big of a deal. I mean,
That's because you've been through it and you went through it and you're through it. You're not still fighting against it, right?
well, I guess some extent.
Well, I mean, nothing's 100%. And then the buffer prevents your energy from dropping into depletion. By keeping that space and understanding that you're going to fail, 'cause nothing's perfect, because there's no such thing as perfectionism. Okay. You're going to fail, and how you deal with that is going to be a big deal. And don't be too hard on yourself. Now, yeah, could it be prevented? Yes. Like, I'll give you an example. When someone took a test, they had to get a 75 on the test. It was 100 questions. And he got a 74. And he goes to the test guy and goes, I missed it by one question. And the teacher says, no, you missed it by 26. Because he could have gotten the other 25 right. It's not just that one question. It was 26 questions he got wrong.
Yeah.
And that puts it in perspective. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, there's a lot more opportunities than just that one moment. Like the straw that broke the camel's back. Things happen, you fail, you set back, you move on, you go forward, and if you're not learning from it and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, at what point does it change? Right?
Mm-hmm.
In life, when I'm at work, I'll help. There's employees sometimes that just don't know what they're doing. They're really not good employees, right? You've been at work and you know what I'm talking about. At some point, either you ignore them and you start just letting them get away with things, or you start doing things for them, or whatever the case may be, to get past that, because it's just easier to do it than ask them to do it.
Everything, bro. I swear to God, everything.
Right? But that's not helping the situation at all. It is building resentment on your part. So maybe you shouldn't let them slide as much, and call them out on their BS.
Yeah, but that just creates drama, and then HR has to come in and help out, and just too much hassle.
And it is a hassle. And that's the thing. People like that, just nothing gets changed. Okay. And of course, you have high stakes like finals and everything, and you get stressed out. You really have to learn how to take care of yourself for that. If you're not able to take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to handle those stressful moments. Yeah. I'm under a lot of stress because of all the things I'm doing, but it's not really bad stress. It's good stress. It just, there's a lot going on in my life. And I take time out. Like yesterday, I called my friend and I said, hey, we need to go out and get a beer. And we went out and we did. What do you laugh?
No, I'm still thinking about, like, I'm leaving. I'm coming back.
Oh. Well, no. Remember what happened last night? Just so you guys know, we both were going out, and I was going to go out. I figured about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and Connor's like, I might go out about the same time. I'll probably leave before you, because I'm going to go to my friend's house. We're going to get ready there. It's okay. And then, like, what was it? Maybe 10 minutes later, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, we got home at like 4:30, like 4:45 or something.
Yeah.
He just like yells at 5:10. All right, I'm gone. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and then he texts me. I was like, I'm coming home. I'm leaving him, and I call him like, I'm coming home.
Yeah, 3 hours later.
Yeah, it just sometimes you gotta take that break from life, and that's what happened with my friend. I call her. I'm like, hey, I want to go out tonight. It's not, do you want to do something? It's not, hey, what you doing? It's, we're going out tonight to do something, right? I went into my jeans and t-shirt. I wasn't like, nothing fancy, but I just went out and had a beer, right? And then we're driving away, and she was hungry, but I had just eaten with you and your friend.
Yeah, I heard you say like we could go, but I'm not gonna eat. Or
Yeah,
like that.
So she's like, well, maybe we can go get some rolled tacos from this restaurant. Ooh, I might want to eat those. the beer that I drank at this bar, it was a new beer. It gave me so much gas. It was horrible.
Like a good horrible or like a bad horrible?
No, like I kept burping and burping. It was the funniest thing, dude. And then she says, I'm not gonna eat if you're not gonna eat. Let's go get some corn in the cup. So I went to go get a corn in the cup, and we did, you know. That chile and everything in my stomach after all that. It was a really bad reaction to the beer, I guess. So here I am thinking I want to have fun and get away, and it just caused me a little more stress. But talking to my friend and hanging out was fun. And then I did that the night before with a different friend. So, you know, you got to take your breaks in life. And that's very important. Remember that. Okay. Now, we've been talking about all of this, and I want you to think about those questions that you have to ask yourself. We call that the afterburn.
Reflecting on the wisdom gained from every hit. What is a challenge I've overcome, and what did it actually teach me? How can I reframe this specific challenge as a growth opportunity? Who is one new person I can strike up a conversation with this week? What is one small action I can take to reduce anxiety this month? The reflection is complete. Murphman, lead the final turn.
All right, so here's some questions I want you to ask yourself, Connor. What's a challenge you've overcome, and what did it teach you? Okay. I consider that I can tell you a million things I've overcome, but you know, one of the things in the job interview, they want to know how you've handled a crisis at work. And they asked me one time, and I'm not good with job interviews because I'm very cocky when I go into a job interview. But they asked me, give me a situation that you've overcome. And there was so many choices in the example I gave, which is a stupid one. But it's a moment I'm very proud of, you know. But when I told the story to everybody, they looked at me like, who the hell are you? Like, what, you know? And I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. You know, I know I'm not going to get this job. And as I'm telling the story, I'm like, I told the wrong story, right? But when you've had so many things happen to you, it's just you expect it, and you don't even stress about it anymore. Can you agree with me on that? Or do you think it's a little different?
No, I could agree.
You know, and another thing is, you know, when you have a challenge, ask yourself what you can learn from it. You know, how is this affecting me? What do I need to change? Right? And who is one new person I can strike a conversation up with this week? Well, that's to help you meet people, build your network, and build your support system. Right? And what small action can I take to reduce anxiety this month? For example, we're going to be recording some shows ahead of time so we can redo the studio. I have to make my segment videos and everything, right?
I mean, don't you already have them done?
I have my scripts done, not the videos.
Okay.
I have to make my slides and videos for every show. As I move forward for these next couple episodes, we're gonna do ahead of time. I asked myself, what could I do? Oh, I gotta get 4 episodes of videos ready, and I realized, no, I don't. I can do the show without the segments and just add them in later. So I thought, so I can actually do that every week and not be stressed.
Yeah.
You know.
You just have to talk, or you just have to do the show for 2 hours.
Yeah, because I have everything I'm going to put on the slides already. Then I can do that. So sometimes ask yourself, what can I take away this week that will help me succeed? Right? And then you can do all that. So think about all those questions when you want to be more resilient. Okay. But let's take a quick break. Let's go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the digital inferno and what technology you can use to help you become more resilient.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at nbradio.us.
Wonder what was going on inside a man in black's mind. Was he missing June? Was he thinking back when that picture was snapped? Was he wishing he could hold her? Did he know his life was over? The day that camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Lines of life there on his face show hard living and show grace. A story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. The lines of life there on his face show hard living and show grace. A story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Wonder what was going on inside the man in black's mind. The day old Marty flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash.
Before we get back to the show, remember that Hot Takes with the Murph Man is partnered with Stream915.com, the place for premium content you won't find in the live podcast or on socials. Visit purehottakes.com to connect on socials and unlock your discount link to Stream915.com.
Why do you laugh?
No, like as you cut in, you sneezed. It was funny.
Yeah, the timing, right?
Yeah.
You know. But allergies are bad this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a horrible season for allergies. If you have allergies, take your medication every day. I'm telling you, it's going to be so much worse. And there's a medication we got to use, that Flonase. I'm telling you right now. I hate it. But it for times like right now, Connor, big difference.
I don't want to put the liquid in my nose.
I know.
It doesn't sting. It's just like,
I know.
I don't know how to explain it.
But eventually we'll get used to it. We just can't get used to it.
Because we never use it. Or we never need it.
Yeah. Right. This year I think we're gonna need it big time. Big time. You know Isaiah that works with us? He parks under a tree every day.
Oh God.
And he says he came out and his car was covered in yellow pollen. I'm like, damn, dude. That's crazy. One time El Paso news anchor was reading the pollen count to see how many allergies were in the air. and I think he said something like 50,000, right? Normally it's in the maybe a couple hundred. And you're like 50,000. He goes, that's a typo, y'all. I'm so sorry.
500,000.
No. He comes back and he's like, no, it's actually 50,000 count as opposed to 500. Like, he's like, oh, that sucks. Like, he was just shocked at how much pollen we have here in El Paso. We're a desert. We shouldn't have that much. But yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
So I was telling you the story that I told during the job interview. What'd you think of it?
Well, you didn't tell me the full story, but I mean, you just told me what it
Well,
was.
yeah, and even you were like, yeah, that's not a good story to tell. Right?
Like, what was the question he even asked you?
What was something you've overcome? They want to know how I handle crisis.
That's the one you picked.
That's what I'm telling you. As I'm telling the story, I'm like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll tell you what. Let's talk about the digital inferno and how we can use technology to help us with our resilience.
How data-driven tracking kills despair. Use a digital mood tracker like Daylio to see the relationship between challenges and coping. Utilize mindfulness apps like Calm to regulate your emotional response to stress. Utilize native phone features like Focus Mode to silence work apps after hours. Automate your growth by treating your digital calendar as your true boss. The software is burning. Murphman, show us the systems.
All right. The do not disturb button you taught me about a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I can't use it at night.
Why?
Because when you're out,
Oh,
you might end up calling me from someone else's phone number.
true.
So when you text me this morning that you're going to go to a Whataburger or whatever you guys chose to do, you woke me up.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather have that than not be told where you are.
It's because you could be on D&D, but you could also like allow people to go through it, as in like you don't have it.
Right. So I would have to add all your friends because your battery's always dead.
No, that's because my charger didn't work, so I used the battery pack. Now I actually got a charger that people have.
Really? We got a new phone too, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, everybody has a Type-C. So it's like everybody has a charger.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll say about Apple. They finally got the Type-C. Yay, right? All right, so sorry. So the beer from last night is still there. One thing that a lot of counselors like to say is journalize. Write your feelings down on paper. What do you think about that, Connor?
It doesn't work.
It does work. You just may not like it.
Well, it's because what are you gonna say on paper that you won't show anyone? It's just it's the same thing you're doing just on paper, like saying in your head. So what's that gonna help with?
If we were to go back in time and read, like for example, imagine if you did a journal every day of your life, right? And I tell you, hey, 10 years ago, this happened. How did you react to that? And you can go back to your journal and be like, hey, wow, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking I was suicidal back then. I was thinking the end of the world, or you know what I mean? And you think now, you're like, wow, that's crazy. Like, why would I think that? It's a way to reflect on how you've become resilient over time. Also, sharing things, right? Sometimes just gets it out and makes you feel better, right?
Yeah.
So putting on paper, that's one of those things. The other thing is when you're mad at someone or you have an issue with someone, or maybe unspoken words, say someone passed away, and you write a letter to them and throw it in the mail, right? you're like, what is that? It's the symbolism of you're reaching out to them and you're sharing your message with them. Okay. When I would tell people to do it, I would tell them to burn it. Write the letter with everything you want to get out of your head. Because you don't want people to know what's in their head sometimes.
Yeah.
So you burn the letter. And that's your way of saying, I'm getting rid of this. I'm not going to let it affect me as much. You know, I found a journal I was writing when my dad passed away, when I was going through all my files and stuff. And I was like, I read what I was feeling at that moment. You know, I was like, wow. I was angry. I was very angry. And I remember how I would deal with all that in my life. You know, that time of my life was, I had gone through a divorce, got remarried, and then my dad died. And I was very angry. But it was funny because during my divorce, I was very, very angry. And then after my dad died, I was able to handle stress a lot better. I learned from the divorce. So even though I was still angry, it wasn't affecting me as much. But that journal, reading it, going back and reading it was really cool. You know, and what's funny is we put passwords in, right? So we can lock a file or something, and we forget what the file lock is, so we never get to read it. You know, just put it in a file and name it something mundane that's so stupid, like my comedy act. Yeah, you know, looking back on your life as a journal, you know, imagine I die and then you're going through my files and you come across this thing, my comedy act. Oh, my dad was a comedian. Let me see what he used to say his jokes were. Well, my father was murdered, or I lost my wife. You're like, what? It, you know, you can hide stuff in plain sight. You know, you don't have to go and put passwords on it and lock it or anything like that. But writing a journal is really interesting. And another thing you can do is also talking to it. There's been some cases where kids have actually started talking to Gemini as a counselor. And this is not funny. It's more incredulous than anything. But can you give me some solutions to my problem? And one of the solutions that Gemini gave was kill yourself.
Oh God.
And they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now we laugh about that, right? But I remember I had a soldier in the army when I was counseling. And I was like, so what's your solution to the problem? Because he was going to get kicked out of the army. He goes, I think I'm going to kill my commander so he can't kick me out. And I was like, well, that is an option. I think there's some better options than that one, but that is an option. So one time something happened to me, and I want you to think about this. It's a bad moment. I'm getting in trouble in the army. And a thought crosses my mind. If I kill you, this isn't going to happen. And I started laughing at that moment that I'm getting yelled at. And the guy goes, what's so funny? I'm like, nothing. He goes, tell me. I said, first I got to tell you the story about this other soldier. You know, I'm sitting here going, what are my options? And the first thing that pops in my head is, if I kill you, this isn't a problem anymore.
What do you say about that?
Well, they know me enough to know I'm not going to kill anybody, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, the stuff that comes through your brain is crazy. So I'm like, okay, yeah. You know, and you think about it, suicide is an option for a lot of people. That's why, you know, we talk about make 22-0 again and call 988, press 1, get help. You know, there's help out there for people, right?
Yeah.
People don't know how to access it. Sometimes people don't want to talk about their problems or whatever. But they turn to like Gemini and they start talking to it. And it gives you options. So is it a good idea to talk to the AI and ask it questions? Not to use as a therapist, but if you're trying to work through a problem and say, give me options on how to deal with this situation, it can give you options. And it's not bad that way. Okay. It's not bad at all. Because it opens your brain to different ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. You have Daylio where you can keep track of your challenges and whatnot. Okay. Looking back at it, that's like a journal.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't know Daylio.
Okay. Also, there's apps you can get to help you calm down. You can buy music and stuff, ASMR videos and stuff on YouTube that you can download and listen to, right? Having calm music is something that people need to learn how to use to calm down. You reflect the music in your mood. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that. You go to the club
Yeah.
and have you ever noticed that sometimes the vibe is really energetic, then it drops, and then goes back up to energetic and drops?
Mm, well, last night, no, but I have seen it.
Okay.
Like St. Patty's. Oh, dude, they play like sad songs. It was like one of those like nostalgic songs from like 2010s, but it was those type that were like, "We'll make it out of here," yada yada yada, whatever. I forgot what they were saying.
That's funny. On St. Patrick's Day,
On St. Patrick's Day,
you know,
on a Tuesday.
when you're doing stuff, you cannot keep 100% energy. And I talked about comedy and drama belong together, right? Movies that have no comedy in it, if it's all drama, they're very draining on you. You have to have a couple jokes in there to break the tension. And an example is, I know you've never seen the movie The Shining with Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. There's a scene where he's hacking through a door with an axe. And he's trying to kill her. And he's attacking her. And he pokes his face through the hole. He goes, "Here's Johnny." That's that comedy part of that drama. To just break the tension. Even though it's not funny, right?
It's like a little relief moment.
Just that moment.
Yeah.
You know. Movies that are comedy. And can you think of a comedy movie? Something that's funny that you can think of that. Oh, that's a funny comedy.
Die Hard. Not Die Hard. Bad Boys. God.
No, hold on. You meant Die Hard with Kevin Hart.
No, I meant Bad Boys.
I know you meant Bad Boys. When you said Die Hard, remember Kevin Hart did Die Hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Okay. All right.
Because I was thinking of Die Hard.
Oh, there's more than one black actor.
No, it's what?
No, it's because you got Kevin Hart mixed up with Martin and Will Smith.
I thought you were gonna ask me what action have like you. I thought you were gonna ask me what this genre had, like The Shining. It's horror, yes, and then it has comedy in it.
Okay.
So I thought you were gonna ask what movies has like another genre in it, like action into funny or action into whatever or funny.
No, the question was.
Well, I know, but I assumed so. I don't know why Die Hard came into my mind because I was thinking it's an action movie, but it's a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay.
That's why I just assumed you were asking me the question, and it just got stuck in my head. I'm like, Die Hard. Like, wait, no, Bad Boys.
Yippee-ki-yay. Do you remember the fan fiction I told you about the cop in Die Hard? He used to work with Urkel.
Yeah.
That's a hilarious fan fiction there. No, the question was, tell me a movie that's a comedy for you. And give me what's a comedy for you? Think about that. Any movie. It doesn't have to be a current one, it could be an old one.
What's it called? Grown Ups. Just do that.
Grown Ups.
We just do that one, yeah.
Do you remember when they were jumping into the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the funniest scenes I ever think, right? The guy getting rolled down the hill on the tire, right? There's a lot of comedy in that.
Yeah.
But he was almost getting divorced over some stuff from work with his wife.
Yeah.
That's not funny.
It's not, but it's like, wow.
Right?
I wouldn't say divorce. I mean, a break maybe, but yeah.
But it was having marital issues. So my point is, here's a comedy that we think is hilarious, but there's also this storyline of I'm getting divorced and separated from my wife. I got to fix my marriage. Comedy and drama. Even in a full-blown comedy, there's some drama. Okay, always goes together. So,
well, hold on. Let me rephrase. It wasn't divorce. It was not a family trip anymore.
right, but that was causing tension in the marriage.
Well, I wouldn't say tension. I mean, jobs, yeah, but I wouldn't say like their marriage. So, like the marriage itself, no. Yeah, she had to go do something, but yeah, he wanted to stay. So she was just gonna leave and go do her job. So I wouldn't say it's a marital issue.
I thought he was the one that pretended it was a family trip and it was actually work related.
He wanted to do family, but they were gonna remember they said they were gonna leave because of the work that she had to do.
I thought it was his work that. Oh, anyway,
Or-
point being is it
It's-
caused tension in the
it's
marriage.
model, yeah.
I can see that somehow. It's hot. She is, dude. You should see her in Dawn of the Dead.
I think
Not the Dawn of the Dead. What's the name of that? The vampire movie.
vampire movie.
Oh my god.
Twilight. I don't know.
Look up Selma Hayek vampire.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn. That's the one. But look at her images.
From that movie.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Tell me what you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Damn.
Never seen that movie. Wow.
Oh,
I think we gotta see.
no. Let me tell you. There's some movies I want to show you that I keep saying I'm going to show you, and I put them on my watch list, and I never show you the movies.
And then you just watch it later on.
But there's one, the mariachi. There's one from Dusk Till Dawn, stuff that I haven't shown you that actually both have Danny Trejo in it, but it's funny. But I'll show you those movies, okay? Because they're hilarious. There's so much there's death and everything going on, but they're funny. So that would be a perfect example for me to show you. Maybe we'll watch that one later tonight. You don't have any plans tonight, right? All right, let's watch either the mariachi or Dusk Till Dawn. But anyway, I digress.
We'll see.
But you always have that comedy and drama together. And the point I'm making with that is, in your life, no matter how bad things are going, there's got to be something positive or something you can laugh at. Okay? No matter how bad things are. Okay? As you look at this stuff, ask yourself, could it be worse? And sometimes at that moment you say, it can never be worse. For example, if we look back in your life, you lost your mom. Could it be worse?
Yeah.
What could be worse?
Losing you also.
You see my point? It could be worse.
Everything could be worse.
Right. I like that question myself. I like the question that says, okay, my life sucks right now. Could it be worse? And
yeah,
that reframing is like, okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Okay, reframing is something that I'm really good at. When I was a counselor, I was really, really good at reframing situations. When someone's telling me something, the question I always ask is, okay, are you on the way down? Like, have you hit rock bottom? Or are you bouncing up? I've been here so many times. Every time I think something's bad, I recover from it, something worse happens. I recover from it, something even worse happens. could it be worse? So, yeah, it could be. Like, for example, you went to the emergency room with a heart attack. Could it be worse?
Yeah.
Or you could have actually had a heart attack, right? If you ask yourself that question when things are going bad, you might say, no, this is about as bad as it could get. And you're like, damn,
Yeah.
But remember, every time in your life you've ever felt something was bad and you overcame it, you've gone over something that was harder to overcome the next time and something else that was harder to come the next time. You're thinking about that.
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that? Or
No, you're not wrong.
so
Just like,
your perception changes of it, right?
yeah.
So now when someone else, and that's another thing about compassion and empathy. When you're talking to your friends and they tell you something and you're like, that's not a big deal. From their perspective, it could be a very big deal. Right?
Yeah.
So don't ever tell your friends, no, it's not a big deal.
Everything's a big deal if you think about it.
Right, but at the same time, it's also not a big deal. So it's all about your perspective and the experience you've had that has made you resilient, that has actually allowed you to move on in life. That when someone else tells you the problem, you're like, that's nothing, dude. That's nothing. And then there's a game I play. When I have a friend of mine, Julie, I haven't talked to her in years, right? But she would talk about her day and something bad happens. I'm like, oh, you think your life sucks? Let me tell you what's going on in my life, and then I say something. And then she's like, oh, we're going to play the game of whose life sucks more. And we would talk about all the bad stuff that's happening to us and making jokes about it. It doesn't make it that bad anymore. It's still bad.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Isaiah at work, when he mentioned something and we're talking about relationships and, I tell him he has a bromance with this guy. And he's like, oh, and what about you? Who you got a romance with? I said, nobody. My wife's passed away. And he's just like, oh, I forgot. I'm like, dude, I'm fine.
What did they say at the meeting when like we all like sat down and they first learned about it?
The first time that they learned about your mom passing?
Yeah. In the food court.
Well, a lot of them didn't know.
Well, I forgot what they said. It was just funny because he turned red.
Well, no,
after he
that's
said
what I'm
that.
saying. He says, what about your relationship?
Oh, that was that time?
Yeah, that's the time I'm
Oh.
talking about. Yeah, he turned red and got embarrassed. I'm like, dude, don't even worry about it. I just was being funny, It's not funny, but I was being funny.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but you remember that moment, right? And I've told him, I said, bro, I'm a jerk like that. They don't really know me. I said, I'm sorry, I made you uncomfortable. I apologize. It's just me being silly and stupid. No, it's all right. It's all right. Whatever. But yeah, ask yourself, could it be worse? Right? And if you're generalizing and you were to actually be able to read your entire, imagine, okay, I love technology. Imagine if I had a journal that was 20 years old and I had been typing it the whole time, right? And I put this document into Gemini and I say, summarize this for me. So if you think about, what would Gemini say about you and me?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can show you. There's a document on there. Go to the D drive and look up the book because I'm writing a book. But
Do not have something called the book.
yeah, just search for book on D drive.
Okay.
What was that?
I don't know.
But anyway,
There's nothing. There's episode 22. That's it.
that's it. Okay.
How to book appointments, but there's nothing about.
Is it still with the timer buffering?
Oh. No, that's all that popped up.
That's all popped up on D drive. Go
I'll
to
probably just wait.
go to A drive. Well, I'm saying if the SAN timer is spinning, it's buffering.
Oh, that was the spinning.
Okay, go to A drive and do a search.
Right. Now it's loading. So
Okay. Anyway, I'm just wondering.
yeah.
So did you find the document and did you open it?
It's loading.
Okay.
I just said it's still looking for it, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, loading is
It's loading.
It's
to find
opening.
it. No, not opening.
searching for it.
My book.
There you go. So you know that line, I'm writing a book. Okay. You're reading about it or what?
Oh, this is. You're doing a book on what? The architect's what? How do you say that? Dossier?
Dossier.
Dossier. The tragedy. Horror pillar. The 3-act evolution. This is not even a book. This is like.
Is it just my outline?
It's a lesson. And an outline, yeah.
And that's an outline of my book.
Technically, yeah.
No, I have another book in there. But my point is, yeah, the architect's dossier. You know.
Wow.
Anyway. You're looking through it. Are you seeing anything that's like getting your attention?
No.
Okay. So anyway, you know, if you were to put your story into Gemini and say, summarize your life for me, would it be mostly good or mostly bad?
I don't know. Probably bad.
You think so?
Yeah.
I disagree. See, and that's the thing. You tend to focus on the negative stuff and not the positive stuff.
I mean, yeah.
That's the last piece of advice I want to give today, Connor, is don't let the negative stuff control your life. We all have negative stuff going on. If you focus on that, that's all you're going to see. The minute you start focusing on looking at something positive, you're going to be able to do better because you change your mindset, that growth mindset, to growing, to not just being defeated. Okay? Think about that. Okay, as we go to our last break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the final burn.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at nbradio.us.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh.
Before we wrap up, here's a reminder. Hot Takes with the Murph Man streams live every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern with Military Broadcast Radio. At mbradio.us, we give veterans a voice and help them launch their own podcasts. Hot Takes with the Murph Man is partnered with Squad 915 Studios, the place for premium content you won't find in the live podcast or on socials. At stream915.com, we are a local platform made for El Paso with content exclusively created by El Pasoans. Check it out. It is free to create an account. Visit purehottakes.com to connect on socials and unlock your discount link to stream915.com.
All right, we are back. I don't cough all day long, right? And I start talking, then I start coughing. All right. I don't know. Sorry. All right, so let's get to our final burn for today. Here it is.
Success is rising with more wisdom every single time. Resilience isn't about never falling. It is about rising with wisdom. Bend, don't break, as you navigate the college storm. Success is not a destination. It is a series of intentional pivots. Own your rhythm and let your own...
Oh. It cut out.
It cut out. Technology, I tell you. Anyway, resilience isn't about never failing. It's about rising with wisdom. I like the statement, success is rising with more wisdom every single time. Because that's what you do, right? You learn from it and you move on. Bend, don't break. Like the willow in the wind. You know, it's always bending, never breaking. And success is not a destination. It's a series of intentional pivots. Okay? You make a choice on where you want to go. Remember Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. Know where you want to go, and you can get there. And last but not least, your own rhythm and let your own purpose protect you from burnout. It's not always negative. It can be positive. Something's always good. Something's always bad. It's what you choose to look at that makes it important.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it for today, Connor. What do you think?
I think so too.
You think so too?
Today was a great show.
You liked it?
I liked it.
One technical glitch at the very end.
At the very last thing.
But otherwise, I think we did pretty good. So you think we did a good show today? I'm happy with it.
I think so.
I hope that our viewers watch it and they enjoy it as well.
Hopefully.
So that's everything for today. Just so you know, the next 4 weeks, we will not be live. We will be doing a recording because we're remodeling the studio, unless we get done sooner. And y'all take care. See you next week.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode. If you're looking for more, you can find all the best clips from the show on our social media pages. For all the links and more information about what we talked about today, visit purehottakes.com. And if you want to watch the full replay or get access to our premium content, subscribe now at stream915.com. We appreciate you tuning in.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.